Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins, your host of the Marvel DC Universe Fan Club. We are now episode 123, and I'm going to discuss one topic and one topic alone, was which is going to be a recap of yesterday's yesterday's San Diego Comic Con, and I'm pretty much just going to talk about the trailers, the trailer roundup. Like for example, like Aquaman, Godzilla, Star Wars, Clone Wars, and of course more. So, but yeah, as um as San Diego Comic Con wrapped up yesterday, and it's been a busy week for pop culture news. So while big names like Marvel and HBO skips the show this year, the show nevertheless showcased a number of big trailers from the films and shows slate to premiere over the next year or so. So, Warner Brothers stole the show this year with this massive 2-hour Saturday morning panel, during which the studio revealed its slate of upcoming films: Aquaman, Fantastic Beast, The Crimes of Grindelwald, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Shazam. The clips and trailers served as the week's highest profile reveals, but also prove Warner is about to be more exciting than it has been in years. So, of course, there are plenty more studios in town to hawk some serious forthcoming wares. The Sci Fi Channel, Netflix, BBC America, and more all release looks at projects we can't wait to see. The truly impressive arrays of covers used to pump up these trailers: Nirvana's "Come as You Are," David Bowie's "Rebel Rebel," Lenny Kravitz's "Fly Away," and even a chill-inducing cut of Debussy's "Clair de Lune." Does wonders for argumenting that excitement. They round up all the biggest and best trailers from this year's show in one for your viewing convenience. So, I'm going to give you the list pretty much. So, let's start with Aquaman. Easily the most highly anticipated reveal of this year's Comic Con was DC's Aquaman. It's no secret that the DC Cinematic Universe has had a rocky start, with critics and fans largely panning films like Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. But especially in the wake of the overwhelming success of Wonder Woman last year, the studio has been shifting away from its overarching expanded universe strategy to focus on standalone stories. And Jason Momoa's Aquaman will be the next star out of the gate, of course. So, and the film looks awesome. The action and story looks solid, and it looks like it'll have something many of DC past films have lacked. A sense of humor. So now, that pretty much is into that one. The second one is Deadly Class. So there are a lot of comic book properties out there, and the Sci-Fi Channel has dabbed in the field with shows like Krypton earlier this year. It picked up Deadly Class, a series produced by the Russo brothers and based on the early 90s comics about a lost kid reunited into a boarding school where the crime families of the world send their children. Um, the results look very sci-fi-ish, but it's intriguing nevertheless. on top of Benedict Wong, uh, steering the ship in the role of the headmaster, Master Lin. It looks like It looks like Black Flag's Henry Rollins will be joining the faculty too. So the next one is Disenchantment. So Disenchantment is Netflix has a new show coming from Futurama and The Simpsons creator Matt Groening. Disenchantment about a hard-drinking princess voiced by Abby Jacobson and two other companions, an elf, uh, Nate, voiced by Nat Faxon, and a demon voiced by Eric Andre. Uh, this trailer looked downright delightful, mixing the sensibilities of Futurama with epic and distinctly more earnest fairy tale fantasy. All right. So next is Doctor Who season 11. Um, Doctor Who will be back later this year with a new Doctor played by a woman for the first time. This first trailer for the next season, while a bit on the short side, sees Jodie Whittaker's character recruiting a couple of new companions and teases the new worlds and adventures that they will be embarking on. So, and the next one is Fantastic Beast, The Crimes of Grindelwald. We'll get to return to the world of Harry Potter later this year in the next installment of the prequel franchise, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, of course. This film looks definitively darker than the first. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, as it traces the rise of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald, played by Johnny Depp, of course, with a young Albus Dumbledore, played by Jude Law, and Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, working to stop him. The next one is Glass. So, M. Night Shyamalan surprised everyone with his 2016 film Split by revealing that it was set in the same world as his comic book based inspired 2000 film Unbreakable. The trailer for his next film, Glass, takes that connection from a fleeting Easter egg moment and makes it official, bringing the three main characters from both films. James McAvoy's DID afflicted Kevin Wendell Crumb, Bruce Willis's super strong vigilante security guard David Dunn, and Samuel L. Jackson's Elijah Price, aka the brilliant, physically fragile, eponymous villain Mr. Glass, together in a high security facility under the care of Sarah Paulson's Dr. Ellie Stample, a psychiatrist who specializes in delusional patients who believe they have superpowers. Yeah, good luck curing them. But yeah, she'll see. Okay. So anyway, next one is Godzilla King of the Monsters. So Gareth Edwards' 2014 film Godzilla largely overwhelmed audience, but a first look at its sequel, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, looks intriguing to say at least. I'm sorry, to say the least. Coupled with that haunting, aforementioned Claire de Lune cinch, it teases humanity's efforts to come to survive a world where giant monsters have arrived to curb their destructive efforts on the planet, um, which will involve avoiding some epic battles between Godzilla and other kaiju like Mothra. So, and then next one is so the next one is Star Trek Discovery Season 2. CBS's Big Hall H panel on Friday has reserved for Star Trek Discovery, the second season of which will premiere sometime in early 2019, in addition to an announcement-packed panel with newly installed showrunner Alex Kurtzman and the main cast. So, the first trailer for the new season premiered a few anticipated new developments, including the installment of Captain Christopher Pike as acting captain, Horst Faru, the appearance of Tig Notaro as a refreshing infusion of sarcastic comedy, and the coming of Spock. Also, alien squeezes, pretty much. So that's pretty much sums that one. The next one is Man in the High Castle, Season 3. Amazon's Man in the Castle Season 3 is coming back for its third season in October. And has recently, and was recently renewed for a fourth season. They got a first look at the upcoming arc, which looks like it will feature new discontent in the alternate conquered United States as the knowledge of the rather 12 Monkey-esque multiverse spreads. So, last but not least, Night Flyer. Well, actually, not last. Sorry, Night Flyers. So, Sci-Fi's next big next big space show will be an adaptation of George R. R. Martin's space horror novella, which he describes as Psycho in space. So, in case nobody knows what Psycho is, Psycho was a movie which was created by the great late Alfred Hitchcock. So, best known for movies like The Birds and I think 39 Steps. I think those movies. But anyway, back to the subject. So this first full trailer for the show certainly brings the horror as a crew embarks on a spaceship to save humanity from a dying Earth. The next one will be The Orville. Seth MacFarlane, a movie that's starring Seth MacFarlane and created by Seth MacFarlane, of course. It was a surprise delight when it premiered last year. It could have been a cheap mockery of Star Trek, but it turned out to be a delightful, earnest love letter to the classic franchise. The trailer for its second season teases new adventures to new planets and plenty more irreverent humor. So, and then we got Shazam. A big surprise out of the Warner Brothers panel was charming teaser for the upcoming DC film. So the film looks as though it has just what we've mentioned the DC franchise has been desperately needing, which is humor. So the first time we hear the name of the titular hero, the teenage Billy Batson reacts the way any of us would, snort, laugh, and say, "Wait, really?" The film, which stars Zachary Levi, and it uh, WonderCon Jack Dylan uh, Grazer, looks like Tom Hanks' Big meets superheroes. A far cry from the miserably grim Man of Steel. So, uh, okay. Next one we got Star Wars: The Clone Wars, pretty much. Um, well, actually, yes, right. Another of Comic Con's biggest uh, uh, surprises this year was the unexpected reveal that Disney was bringing its animated show, The Clone Wars, for another 12 episode season. The new episodes will help bring the story, which was left hanging when the series was canceled in 2013, to close when it premieres on Disney. To a close when it premieres on Disney's forthcoming streaming service. So, um, so yeah, and then you got the Walking Dead, pretty much. So, The Walking Dead is going to be starting its ninth season in October. So, I'm guessing, and judging by the footage, I mean, I'll say judging by the footage and the photos that were leaked on the internet, I'm guessing it's like a little time jump. It might take place about maybe 2 years, maybe I'm not really sure, or maybe longer. But yeah, in the trailer, he's talking. Rick is talking to Negan. Negan's in a cell pretty much, so he's pretty much held prisoner for life. So he's telling him, "Hey, this is what's going on. Um, the communities are doing well." So then, of course, you see the typical characters, pretty much doing their thing, like typically just, I mean, like they would typically do, like kill zombies, that type of thing. And then later on, you got communities banding together, and then later on in the trailer, it's like they're turning on each other. So what was a good community might possibly be well, I mean, once they're once was a united community might later become a divided one. So judging by the trailer, and of course Negan, while in a cell, warns Rick that, hey, just nothing lasts forever. Just because they're united don't mean they won't be divided. So like sooner or later they will be divided, and when that day comes, you can come back and tell me all about it. So that's pretty much what that was about. But yeah, unfortunately, Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick, is going to do his last season along with what's her name, Lauren Karan, the one who plays Maggie. But yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it. That covers up the trailers for yesterday's San Diego Comic Con. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it to that one, but hopefully I'll be able to make it to next year's. Hopefully, there's no guarantees, no promises, but just wanted to let you know. I'm just going by the recaps of what was that I've seen on the websites for San Diego Comic Con. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I didn't cover. I'm covering it, even though it was a day. Even though yesterday was pretty much was a wrap up. But I just decided to. I was like, I'll just talk about it. But unfortunately, I wasn't there to cover it. So just letting you guys know, I wasn't there. So, but I wish though that I was. But hopefully, in the future, I will attend San Diego Comic Con and hopefully New York Comic Con and hopefully C2E2. But except this time at the C2E2, I might be able to cover the event this time. As far as podcast goes. But yeah, so that concludes this episode. Feel free to visit us and like us on Facebook. We are available on iTunes and the Google Play Music app.